Well, good morning, good evening, good day, and welcome to the next daily. It's Wednesday, so we face a two-set kingdom, which doesn't involve the base kingdom, I believe. And the two sets, the two expansions we see here are Nocturne and Adventures. And yeah, as you can see already, we're going to have a fun time exploring this kingdom. But also there is from yesterday we again have Ratcatcher and Quest and also Giant, I believe, but I almost already forgot about it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting kingdom. Looks really finicky actually, but I think I do have a plan for how to approach this. So let's discuss the kingdom. As always, if you don't are not interested in that, feel free to skip. And yeah, we have Peasant, and Peasant is the other traveler line. Yesterday we had the page line. This is the Peasant line, in which Peasant only gives +1 buy and +1 coin. But you can discard this, and when you discard this from play, you can exchange it for a soldier. And a soldier on play gives 2 coins and 1 coin per other attack card you have in play. And then each other player with 4 or more cards in hand has to discard a card. So if you play 2 soldiers, everyone has to discard down to 3 cards if they start with 4. But usually discarding just 1 card isn't as bad as being hit by a militia, of course. Then you can exchange this for a Fugitive, which is a fairly inconsequential sifter, but it's one step you have to go through to get a really, really powerful card, which is Disciple. You may play an action card from your hand twice, so a throne room essentially, and then you gain a copy of it. So a throne room also gaining a copy of the card you double played is really, really strong. And notably, of course, you cannot, if you disciple a disciple, because the disciple itself is not in the supply, you won't get a copy of disciple by doing so, but with anything else like ranger, ratcatcher, peasant, or whatever, the cards aren't that strong in this kingdom, the targets for this, but still, you play it twice and then you get another one. Then we have, and as the last step, teacher, which on play you just, it is a terminal action that you put on your tavern mat. But then at the start of your turn, you may call this to move your +1 card, +1 action, +buy, or +coin token to an action supply pile. You have no tokens on, so this is sometimes a gotcha moment when there is ferry or something like that in the game, which puts a token on cards, and then you are suddenly surprised why you can't put the plus card token on it. At least it has gotten me before. But here it just prevents you from putting all of the tokens on one card to make it super strong. And yeah, the effect, of course, is really, really nice, but getting rid of your disciple in favor of a teacher, and then also having first to play the teacher and then finally being able to call it is kind of a yeah slowdown. And sometimes it makes sense to just keep the disciples in order to pile out, as they give nice pile pressure and also are a village in a way. So yeah, but here I think we are going to go for teacher. Let's continue on. Ratcatcher, we saw this yesterday, +1 card, +1 action, put this on your tavern mat, and then at the start of your turn, you may call this to trash a card from your hand. Devil's Workshop is a Nocturne card, which is a workshop if you gained exactly 1 card during your turn. If you didn't gain any cards during your turn before playing the Devil's Workshop in the night phase, you gain a gold, and if you gained 2 or more cards, you gain an imp. And imps are laboratory-like cards, which give +2 cards, and then you may play an action of which you don't have a copy of in play. So this imps are kind of weird with ratcatchers, because essentially because ratcatchers disappear from play and onto your tavern mat, they don't phase the imps that much, but of course, to get them back into your deck, you need to call them, and then you'll have them in play at the start of your turn, and then imps won't work with red catchers anymore. Next up, we have Ranger. +1 buy, turn your journey token over, and it starts face up, and then if it's face up, +5 cards. So it essentially draws you 2.5 cards if you play 2 of them. And the buy is nice, but there is no obvious village here, so they are going to be hard to take advantage of. Then we have Skulk. +1 buy, each other player receives the next hex, and when you gain this, gain a gold. And hexes are those bad things that can happen to your opponents, and some of them are really nasty. For example, War trashing a card, or Locust can hit the wrong cards at the wrong time. Delusion disallows you to buy action cards. This one isn't as bad here as on other boards because there is alms. But yeah, hexes can be annoying, and I presume the AI is just going for a money-ish strategy where you just hammer in a lot of skulks, get those goals in, and then try to hit provinces that way, which isn't super effective, but on weak-ish boards, and this one is on the border to looking weak-ish, then it can be a valid strategy. Cobbler gains you a card costing up to 4 to your hand on the next turn. So yeah, basically +1 card, +1 action workshop, but it's a duration card and it costs 5. It can be somewhat nice. Giant we saw yesterday. I think I'm not going to go over it. It's complicated, but it's a slow attack, and it's not going to be relevant here as it costs terminal space. Also, Sacred Grove costing terminal space, +1 card, +3 coin, and you receive a boon, and if it doesn't give plus coin, there are 2 boons, 2 out of 12 boons that give plus coin. Also, each other player may receive it, so that's kind of bad because it boosts the other player without them having to do anything for it. And here, especially since there is no real village, or no easy village, I don't think we're going for Sacred Grove. Also, Swamp Hack basically puts an embargo on any card, because if you play it until your next turn, when any other player gains a card they bought, they gain a curse. And it also gives you 3 money at the start of your next turn. But here there is a way to get around the Swamp Hack, at least in the early game. And therefore I also don't think we're going to go for it. Same as with Tormentor, +2 coins. And if you have no other cards in play, you gain an imp. Otherwise, each other player receives the next hex, so also a way to hex your opponent. But skulks are usually easier to acquire, especially with Cobbler here. And yeah. Yes, I also don't think we're going for either Tormentor or Devil's Workshop, just because the imps are going to be awkward. The only thing the imps will be able to play are stuff from the Peasant line, maybe Rangers if we slap the plus action token on them, but yeah. So 2 more events to discuss. Alms is a very strong event, as it once per turn it allows you to gain a card costing up to 4 if you have no treasures in play. So with this, on the 3/4 you get to open 4/4, and on a 5/2 you get to open 5/4 basically, because you can just buy the 5 cost and then alms for anything else. Here, however, this effect is, it lets you get around Swamp Hack. It lets you trash down a bit more aggressively, I guess. But apart from that, it's not. Well, that's something to consider, but it's not as centralizing as it might be on other boards. We might go for it once or twice. And finally, we have quests. We saw this yesterday. You may discard an attack, 2 curses, or 6 cards, and if you do, gain a gold. And also, this is a thing that favors the money strategy with a bunch of skulks, because if they collide on your hand, you can in principle just play one and discard the other one, to gain a gold into your deck and be fairly happy. Still, I think overall the engine should prevail here, unless you get hit by really nasty hexes. So let's talk about what we're going to do here. I already discussed a bit of it in the card discussion, but yeah, this is going to be somewhat engine versus money, so we need to try to get the engine up and running quick enough to beat AI's money deck, because I don't think it will go for disciple and teacher stuff here. It's a bit too complicated for it. But I mean, I could be proven wrong. So what we are going to try to do is just trash really heavily with rat catchers and peasants, and yeah, basically just to go through the peasant line a bunch with a bunch of peasants, maybe gain a cobbler if we hit 5 early. It's gonna be nice for reliability later, and as soon as we get the teacher, we can start getting rangers into the deck, which allow us to draw our deck, and then cobblers can gain us skulks for payload, then we can attack the AI, but it's gonna be an awkward build-up, I think. So yeah, not super confident in this, but yeah, unless we get hit by really bad hexes. I mean, some of them can target our soldiers and fugitives. If they are the only 3 and 4 cost card in our deck, war can hit them. And if the teacher or the disciple are on top of the deck, they can be hit by locusts. So let's see, especially if we have a thin deck. But yeah, here I think on any split, no, on the 5-2, I would open Cobbler Ratcatcher, and on any 3-4 variant, I would open Alms or Ratcatcher Peasant in any case. Because yeah, why the peasant? Well, we want to get the peasant line up and running. So yeah, okay, AI just goes for Alms. And it's really nice that we see the Ratcatcher turn 3 here. Let's hope we find the peasant and just continue getting red catchers. Here we have to discard something, but that doesn't faze me all too much. Now let's put another peasant in at this point. End our buys and exchange this for a soldier. Nice, we find the soldier immediately. AI has to discard something, which doesn't matter that much, but we do hit 5, so we can gain a cobbler here. Let's see, okay, war would have been devastating right now. Because it would have hit our fugitive, but luckily we didn't get hit by war, and at this point I like putting in just 2 more red catchers, just to accelerate the trashing, and yeah, play a few of them. Nice, we find the fugitive here. This is going great, so now we can put in another peasant, and the fugitive, yeah, we are going to get it up to disciple very quickly. See, there was a war, and we just in time got to exchange the fugitive for a disciple. So really good there. Now here, I think it makes sense to just gain a red catcher to hand. Now we do have this collision, but it's okay. I think we want to just continue getting up this soldier to another disciple, because it's going to be another source of plus actions. And at this point, what do we get here? Do we put in a ranger already? I mean, we do have disciple and a bunch of rat catchers in there. I don't know. This is hard. We might have draw dead. Yeah, there is nothing really standing out for me. Maybe just another rat catcher. AI got its first province there. We don't really need the red catcher, I guess. Now let's get the ranger. It's gonna be okay, I think. Now here we do get to do disciple on red catcher. We can also think about... Actually, I like not doing the disciple on red catcher, just because I don't really want to trigger that shuffle. The last card is a copper, I think. So we just play this here. We do get to alms or play those coppers. Put in another peasant and exchange this disciple for a teacher, which we find here, and we do see the cobbler there, so this is perfect. We can alms for a ranger, I guess. Next turn we can gain a ranger to our hand. We don't have any disciple yet to really have the village effect, but here, yeah, we can just play all of this stuff. Play this fugitive now. Get all of our red catchers on the mat. Now I think we do want to rather... Well, we can both play the ranger and the peasant here, because I would like to get a few more peasant page lines up and running. And now we get the disciple in, and yeah, AI is running away seemingly. I think it's okay. We do want to still trash out more. Do get to draw here, get to draw once again, and put in another ranger with the disciple. Now we have two actions, so we can advance two peasant lines. We could also play the teacher to get it out of the deck, but that's currently not a priority, I think. And then next turn we can start to get... it's a bit of a shame that we don't hit 5 for another cobbler here, but next turn we can start to get in skulks and do some more of that stuff. But yeah, I really want to get another peasant line up and running. However, yeah, what do we gain with this? Let's put another ranger in, and then the cobbler can gain a skulk next turn to hand. Now we are behind 2 to 18 points, but let's just hope AI doesn't do all too crazy things. So what do I top deck here? AI is not going to play another hexing card, so it doesn't really matter in terms of locusts or whatever. So let's keep the copper in hand to trash it out. AI goes for the quest here to get a gold in, and we might also want to do that with the skulk we gain to hand now, but also the gold is nice to have to hit 5. So here we do want to disciple the ranger again, but first we can play the fugitive. Just do this. Now, again, I like playing soldier and peasant. Let's try to get it up to 3 disciples. And here we finally can pick up... Well, do we even want to pick up the second cobbler here? We have one that we'll play next turn. I would really like a few cobblers just for reliability reasons, but yeah, maybe we also shouldn't have played all those red catchers in hindsight. Just keep them in the deck to have stuff to disciple. So what we want to do is buy a quest here to get a gold, and yeah, this is a tough decision. I think we want to go for the cobbler, but as you can see, AI hasn't really done anything the last few turns. Let's see whether it can do. Yeah, it can province once again here, but there are 5 provinces left for us, and we are about to be really well set up. So the only concern would be piles, because there are only 3 rangers and 2 skulks left, but I think it's going to be alright. We can afford just playing this ranger blank, right? We have enough. I don't necessarily want to disciple another one. Want to have them as gain-to-hand targets at the beginning of our turns. What do we want to disciple here? Maybe the Skulk. We could also just disciple a Ratcatcher for the plus action, and then play a bunch of stuff. Also get the Teacher out of our deck for once. Yeah, I think I like that. I think not discipling the Ranger at this point is good, because we just have so many. Doesn't really make sense to do so. So play the Skulk first, then the Soldier to get 1 more coin. AI gets Bad Omens, so it will have a hand of coppers. I think at this point we just start to province. Now we could quest here and discard those 6 cards, but I think I like putting in 1 cobbler and here getting our 3rd disciple. I think this one can stay as a soldier just for some extra economy and some consistent attacks on the AI. But now, especially if we can pair disciples with disciples, we can, yeah, run away. So since we have the ranger here, I'm fine just gaining a skulk to hand. And we could also still think about a ranger, but no. That's alright. Could also be a bit greedy and move this plus coin token on Skulk, but maybe we will save that for next turn. And here, let's try to maximize our actions by first playing this double playing this ranger. No, just single playing this ranger. And yeah, we have so many rangers, so we can really just disciple, and yeah, play it. Get all of those actions, get a few skulks in, and yeah, AI gets povertied and diluted. Well, I mean, that doesn't matter that much. Let's not double play a ranger or a ratcatcher again just because of pile stuff, but rather get in another skulk double play. And we can draw up those skulks and golds. And now, yeah, just turn that journey token over once again, play skulk, trashing one of AI's skulks, and it has already discarded. Now here we can double province and we are fairly safe from AI not double provincing. So we can just put this cobbler into play. And now we could think about turning this into a fugitive, but no. Next turn we are going to need a bit more than double province, especially if the AI just goes for this. So now, yeah, this is a bit tricky now, because we are going to need a bunch of duchies. Put in another peasant. We are going to get another ranger here. Let's not empty that one yet for next turn. And we can turn it once again. Attack the AI a bunch. That's good. we want to double play the soldier here to have a discard? I think that's the best course of action, to have the guaranteed discard, because there are, yeah, I mean, could get hit by other hexes, but yeah, let's just have a discard twice, even though this doesn't maximize our money. So it discards an estate and a curse, probably, yeah. Just attack it once more. Bad omens, 2 coppers on top is good. And we would have been able to double province here, but that is not a possibility anymore. So we just need to take a bunch of duchies and hope that the AI does not finish the game on us. It is kind of scary, to be honest. Let's see. Is there anything else we can do? We could have done. I don't think so. So yeah, end our buys, get this cobbler in play. Next turn we only need to hit province, so I'm actually going to turn this soldier into fugitive. And let's hope here. Okay, Skulk doesn't hit anything of value, and my heart stopped for a few seconds there when I saw those golds and silvers, but luckily AI can only gain a duchy, and yeah, this should be game. Because now, yeah, we can even be a bit greedy, just play 2 rangers first, yeah, to connect all of those disciples. And now, yeah, we are drawing. We can attack the AI a bunch. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that because I need that Dutch. No, it should be okay. Locust has just been played, and we can, and our Skulks give us money. And yeah, let's attack everything out of the AI. We still have those cute little rat catchers here, but we can hit 16 and can finish the game in a not super, I don't know, not super convincing fashion. Like those last turns were a bit wonky, but we do get to finish with 4 disciples and a teacher. That's pretty cool. Yeah, 17 turns. I think AI played the money thing correct-ish. It also almost hit us with that war. I was really scared of that. Oh, sorry. Here, where was it? Where was the... Just after we had... Yeah. Had that disciple been a fugitive, we would have been in for a world of hurt, because the AI wasn't super slow, and also just on the last turns we got to come back because we just had the bigger deck, and we and the bigger and better deck that was able to multi-province, multi-duchy, and still function. But yeah, it was closer than I would have anticipated. But yeah, with that, I will end this video here. And as always, I'll try to catch you next time. Goodbye.